川崎との前回の対戦を踏まえて今日ピッチに送り出す選手たちに期待すること、どんなことでしょうか。
Pues un mensaje de confianza, un mensaje que podemos darle la vuelta a la eliminatoria. Obviamente tenemos que hacer un gran partido, sobre todo a nivel de ataque y sobre todo confianza y creer en nuestras posibilidades.
自信を持ってピッチに飛び出そう、そのようなメッセージを選手たちには伝えています。まだ180分の試合の90分しか終わっていません。そういう意味でも逆転を信じて、そしてより攻撃的にプレーしていこうというメッセージを伝えています。
柏としてはまずはこの2点差というのをしっかりと返して勝たなければいけない戦いかと思いますけれども、上回るポイント、重要なところどんなことでしょうか。
Bueno, obviamente atacar bien, ser capaces de defender bien la portería nuestra para que no tener la eliminatoria que nos la corten, pero sobre todo atacar bien y ser capaces de tener la parte del corazón, que este tipo de partidos son muy emocionales, también jugar con mucha cabeza.
今日は熱い試合になることを予想しています。そして我々は攻撃的にいかなければいけません。そのような状況です。けれども失点をしてしまえばさらに難しい状況になってしまいます。ですのでしっかりと守備をしつつ、そしてより攻撃的にプレーして逆転を狙っていきたいと思っています。
川崎長谷部監督です。よろしくお願いします。第1戦から中3日ということで準備期間短い中で今日の試合に向けて選手たちにはどのようなことを伝えてきたでしょうか。
まず体をいい状態に戻して全力でできる、そういう状況を作ること、また相手がどういう形取ってくるか分かりませんが、同じような形であれば我々はこうしていきたいねという案と少しのトレーニングと積んでいます。
柏はこの2点差を追い越すために攻撃を前よりも強めてくると思いますけれども、川崎としてはこの第2戦も上回るために大事になってくるポイントというのはどのようなあたりに捉えていますか。
攻守切り替え、多くの場面で自分たちの色を出すことが大事だと思います。相手に出されてしまうことが多くならないように、もちろんゲームですからそういう時もあると思います。耐え時もあるし取り時もあるし、そういうところを意識して自分たちが流れを試合を持ってくる、そういうことを考えていく、共有していくことが大事だと思います。
今日はアウェーでの一戦となりますけれども、川崎にとっては6年ぶりの決勝に向けてこの試合にかける思いを最後に聞かせてください。
まず今日勝って決勝に進むことで優勝があると思うので、この一戦に全てをかけて戦わせたい、そういうふうに思います。
ありがとうございました。
Well, hello and welcome to the Sankyo Frontier Kashima Stadium for the YBC Levain Cup semi-final second leg between Kashiwa Reysol and Kawasaki Frontale. It is advantage the away side, Kawasaki Frontale carrying a 3-1 advantage into this match today from the first leg on Wednesday. Kashiwa Reysol need at least a 2-goal win to force extra time here. And in order to do that, we'll have to do something they haven't done for 17 games now, and that is to produce a victory against Kawasaki Frontale. Kashiwa Reysol are the side who are third in J1 and still with an outside chance of perhaps snatching a title. Kawasaki Frontale some 7 points behind them in terms of league position. But in terms of the season, this represents it for Kawasaki Frontale. The League Cup, their only chance of silverware in Shigetoshi Hasabe's first season in charge. The coach who led Avispa Fukuoka to this very cup in 2023. So let's take a look then at the two teams. Ricardo Rodriguez has made 3 changes to his starting 11 after Wednesday's first leg defeat. Perhaps no surprise there. Hiromu Mitsumaru comes in at centre-back on the left side for Daiki Sugioka, while both central midfielders have been swapped out, with Yuto Yamada and Riki Hirakawa replaced by Yuzei Yamanuchi and Nobutaro Nakagawa. Yoshio Koizumi scored Reysol's first leg goal in midweek. Yuki Kakita at centre-forward is their leading scorer in this competition with 4 goals this season. Yoshiro Imamura is the man in charge, the 48-year-old, taking charge of his 4th League Cup match this season, the 37th of his career. And there is your VAR team. Plenty of support for Kawasaki Frontale. It's not too long a journey for them. And unsurprisingly, it's a more or less the same team that kicked off the first leg in Kashiwa, with the only change at left-back where Shuto Tanabe replaces Sotomura, who came off injured early on 4 days ago. Yuki Yamamoto, Saivan Vermishkirchen and Tatsuya Ito all hit the target on Wednesday. Erison, the Brazilian, starts again at centre-forward, with summer signing Lazar Romanic again on the substitutes bench. Ricardo Rodriguez has never won this competition. He led Aarau Reds to the Emperor's Cup in 2021 and won the J2 title with Tokushima Vortis. But he has massively improved the fortunes of Kashiwa Reysol this season, a side who finished in 17th place, just 3 points clear of relegation last season. Shigetoshi Hasabe with the big boots to fill of Toru Iniki, the coach who has guided Kawasaki Frontale to every single one of the club's major honours. Shigetoshi Hasabe hoping to be the first coach other than him to lift silverware for Kawasaki Frontale. So the lead is 3-1. Will it be a big enough lead against the Kashiwa Reysol side, who are unbeaten here since the shock loss in the Emperor's Cup when they were knocked out by Toyo University, one of only 3 defeats that they've suffered at the Sankyo Frontier Stadium this season. And it is Kawasaki Frontale in the changed all-white strip who get us underway here. Not a seat to be had inside this stadium as Kashiwa Reysol try and turn this deficit around, looking to reach their first League Cup final since 2020, 5 years ago when they were beaten by FC Tokyo. Kawasaki Frontale, just a year longer for them since they won the trophy in 2019, beating Consadole Sapporo on penalties, the club's only previous success in the YBC Levain Cup. November the 1st then, at the Japan National Stadium in Tokyo, is the date that both these sides have their eyes on. That is the final of this season's YBC Levain Cup. Kawasaki Frontale will be confident. A 1-1 draw in February this season on their last visit. A 3-1 win on Wednesday in the first leg, ending a run of draws between these two sides, but it is still 17 since Kashiwa Reysol last beat Kawasaki Frontale. That simply has to change, and even if it does change, it may not mean that they play the final. They need to win by 3 to go through, 2 to force extra time. They have to go for it, Ricardo Rodriguez's side, which they did impressively in the second half of the first leg. 2-0 down early on in Kawasaki. Erison. It's back to Ryosuke Kojima in the Kashiwa Reysol goal. A sea of yellow and black around this arena. Holds just under 16,000. Here's Sasaki for Kawasaki Frontale. These two of the 10 greater Tokyo-based teams in the Japanese top flight this season. It's only about an hour and a quarter's journey by car for those Kawasaki Frontale supporters. Shigetoji Hazabe's side arriving 4 unbeaten since losing at home to Tokyo. Here's Van Vermeerschkerken. Ito. An early goal would certainly be a settler for Kawasaki Frontale. It's the last thing that Kashiwa Reysol need. Ito plays it across, and it's fallen kindly, and there is the early goal from Wakizaka. And it is Kawasaki Frontale who strike first. Yasto Wakizaka, the captain, has taken just over 3 minutes to increase the aggregate lead to 4-1. And it is the most perfect of starts for Shigetoshi Hazabe's side. Ito so lively in the first leg, involved again here. First real attack of any note for Kawasaki Frontale. Wakizaka fires it through, the goal given. It'll be interesting to see though whether there's an offside call here against Kawahara. Was he interfering in front of Ryosuke Kojima, the Reysol goalkeeper? It's a good finish from Wakizaka. That's been cleared. And it is a 4-1 aggregate lead for Kawasaki Frontale. Well, when you're chasing a lead in a two-legged tie, the one thing you have to do is keep things tight at the back, play your way into the game and ensure you score the first goal. Well, now they really do have a mountain to climb, Kashiwa Reysol. 1 down early on, 4-1 now on aggregate. Van Vermeerschkerken. Under pressure from Diego. It looks as though he's starting this game on the left. He played at right wing back in the first leg with Koyamatsu on the opposite wing. Inukai. Diego. Koyamatsu. Koyamatsu is on this left side. Nakagawa. Well, they need a quick response, Kashiwa Reysol. Well, amongst all his instructions would have been, just make sure you don't concede the first goal. And that's exactly what's happened. Shigetoshi Hazabe, who led Avispa Fukuoka to the club's first ever major trophy with that League Cup success in 2023. They were the underdogs in the final. They overcame Arao Reds to win it. Ito. And towards Marcinho. Erison chasing after that one. Well, Wakizaka has been amongst the goals of late. That's his third goal in 5 games now for the Kawasaki Frontale captain. Scored in the 4-4 draw at home to Kashiwa Reysol a couple of weeks ago. But how big might that goal be? They certainly have breathing space now, those Kawasaki Frontale supporters and their team. 3 goals to claw back now for Kashiwa Reysol, but plenty of time to do so. Throw for Kawasaki Frontale. Tanabe with it. Back with Kojima. Manucci pointing where he wanted it. It's gone back to Kojima instead. Kashiwa Reysol, in terms of trophies this season, went out early in the Emperor's Cup. They had certainly had their eye on this competition. Trophy they've won 3 times previously, twice in the professional J-League era. Last of those successes 12 years ago in 2013. 5 points off the top of J1 with 5 games remaining to try and reel in Kashima Antlers, who seem to have pulled away from the rest in the last few weeks or so. Koyamatsu. It's on by Inukai. It's given away. Erison with the touch off to Marcinho. Erison, the angle's tight, goes for goal. Flashes it across the face of goal, Erison. A nice move again from Shigetoshi Hazabe's side. There's potential for a field day up there for the likes of Marcinho, Ito and Erison and Wakizaka, because Kashiwa Reysol are going to have to start gambling a lot earlier, I think, than they'd planned, with the concession of that opening goal so quickly. Baba. Tanabe with the throw. Header away by Inukai. Sasaki across. It's a throw for Kashiwa Reysol. Yuki Kakita didn't get much of a look at in the first leg. Here's a chance though for Reysol. First shot in anger. And Yung Sung Rong tipping it away. Backing off there, Kawasaki Frontale. Yoshio Koizumi with the chance. The player who looked to have turned the tie in the first leg when he grabbed the goal back for Kashiwa Reysol to make it 2-1. Ito, though, scoring the third for Kawasaki Frontale and giving them a significant advantage coming into this. Reds player, Koizumi. Was at Urawa Reds when they lost to Avispa Fukuoka in that 2023 final. It's his first season with Kashiwa Reysol. Scored in his last 2 games. Here's Nakagawa. Diego. Kakita with the touch off. It was too heavy for Koyamatsu. Mitsumaru, who came off the bench in the first leg but starts this one as the left-sided centre-back alongside Baba and Inukai. Kakita. Here's Inukai. Oh, and that breaks down, and Kawasaki Frontale looking to profit again. It's a good ball to Van Vermishkerken. I think was going for goal there. And given his strike in the first leg, who could blame him? Wonderful hit from the right back to put Kawasaki Frontale 2-0 up in the first leg. First goal of the season. He's not a right back who scores too many. Erison. Looking for the 1-2 there, Tanabe, as he came forward, foot in from Yamamoto. Inukai. Nakagawa. Now Baba. Given no time at all to settle into this contest. Kashiwa Reysol with the quick start that Kawasaki Frontale made. It's fed into the penalty area. Koizumi chasing. Kawasaki Frontale get it away, and then the flag is up. As the ball came back, Yamanuchi was offside. Well, Yuki Kakita has had a good season, the Kashiwa Reysol centre forward. 4 goals in this competition, 6 in J1. His last goal did come in the 4-4 draw at Kawasaki Frontale a couple of weeks ago. It's his only goal in the last 7, though. The goal's drying up a bit for Yuki Kakita of late. Young Sung-rong. Inukai. Diego makes a run for him. I think he is more effective on the left, Diego. He struggled to have too much of an impact on the right side in the first leg. Header away by Uremovic. Now Diego. Got a foot to that, touches it back. Mitsumaru. Nakagawa. Now Inukai. Inukai again. Trying to build up some kind of head of steam here, Kashiwa Reysol. Here's Baba. Plenty of yellow shirts in the penalty area. The cross comes in. And the turn and shot from Kakita is off target. It's a difficult chance in the end. First touch didn't help him, took him away from goal. See what he was trying to do, just clip it into the far corner. It's the right idea, just didn't get the technique right at all, and Young Sung Rong more than happy to see it off target. Here's Diego. Sumaru. Inukai. Seeing more of the ball now, Kashiwa Reysol. Here's Koizumi. And now Marcinho with a chance to break away here for Kawasaki Frontale. Ito charging forward, Marcinho just holds it up. Here's Wakizaka, here's Ito, and it's fired straight at Kojima. Lovely counter again though from Kawasaki Frontale. And that's going to be the game now for Kashiwa Reysol. It has to be, because they have to throw bodies forward to try and get themselves back into this contest. Inukai. Mitsumaru. Kagawa. Good run here from Yamanuchi. Marcinho. Yamamoto. Here's Wakizaka. Kawahara. Well, they're certainly not sitting back, Kawasaki Frontale. Still continue to take the game to Kashiwa Reysol. Here's Wakizaka. Tanabe with the ball across, dangerous delivery as well. And Diego stabs it away and was caught afterwards. Painful one on the ankle for Diego from Van Vermeskirchen. Well, Marcinho would have been offside had that header found its way towards goal. Diego just getting his toe to it, and Van Vermeskirchen was already committed. Inukai. Here's Mitsumaru. Now Nakagawa. Off Ito for the throw. Switched out to Diego. Takes a good first touch and fires into the side netting. Well, we didn't see a great deal of that in the first leg when he was the right wing back, Diego, but that's much more like it. Touch inside onto the right foot. Young would have had it covered had it been on target. Here's Van Vermeskirchen. Struggles for regular starts, Diego. Started just 7 times in J1, 22 appearances have come from the bench in the league this season, but he's always effective. Sasaki. On by Yamamoto. Marcinho. Kawahara. It's a foul. Free kick for Kashiwa Reysol. So often steps up when required. Yasto Wakizaka, the Kawasaki Frontale captain. Part of 3 of their J-League successes, 2018, 2020 and 2021. He's won 2 Emperor's Cups with the club and was part of this competition win in 2019 for Kawasaki Frontale. Key component of Toru Oniki's unprecedented run of success in charge of Kawasaki Frontale, something that Shigetoshi Hazabe will try and emulate. Inukai. Switch of play was well spotted by Van Vermeerschkerken, although he gives the ball away to Diego. Mitsumaru. Nakagawa. Marcinho's fouled. It's a free kick for Kawasaki Frontale. Such a good outlet for Kawasaki Frontale on that left side. Here's Marcinho. Six goals in the league this season, 9 in the last campaign. Wakizaka, Erison turned into trouble and then committed a foul to try and make up for it. Yeah, just overstretching. Straight into the top of the foot of Toshima. Goals this season, Erison for Kawasaki Frontale. Hasn't scored in his last 4 games though, having scored 6 in the previous 4 games prior to that. Kawahara back from Yamamoto. Over the top for Erison to chase. He feels he was fouled. Nakagawa. Sumaru. Oh, that's a lovely first touch to make the opening from Koyamatsu. Here's Diego. Clips it back across and Kawasaki Frontale get it away. Only as far as Koyamatsu though. Inukai shifts it on. Mitsumaru beaten to that by Erison. Wakizaka loses out though in the midfield. Koizumi. And it's fed across, and there is the equalizer on the night for Kashiwa Reysol. And they are right back in the cup tie. Well, Aremovic is furious. Kawasaki Frontale causing their own downfall there. Just didn't get the ball away. Wakizaka, the captain, who'd scored the opening goal, was guilty of giving the ball away. And then the ball fed across and Yuki Kakita on hand to touch it into the net for 1-1. His 5th goal in the YBC Levain Cup this season. And Ricardo Rodriguez celebrates a large foothold back in the contest. And Kakita undoing the early concession after just 4 minutes from Wakizaka, and Wakizaka undoing his good work in scoring it, because it was the Kawasaki Frontale captain who gave the ball away. I just wonder if there is a check to see if Kakita was offside. It did look tight actually when the ball was played across. Kakita, I was saying, the goals have dried up for recently. Former Kashima Reysol striker. Just 1 goal in his last 7. That did come against Kawasaki Frontale. The conversation is still continuing between VAR and referee. Harrison in a heated debate with the referee. I think he felt he was fouled before the build-up for that Kashiwa Reysol goal, but it was nothing to do with the move that led to the goal, which does stand. So Kashiwa Reysol 1, Kawasaki Frontale 1. The aggregate need now 4-2. Kawahara. Van Vermeskirchen to Aremovic. Van Vermeskirchen. Sasaki. Solid header down by Unukai. Here's Erison. Ito in support. Ran into the traffic though, the Brazilian, and Reysol get it away temporarily. Only as far as Kawahara. Here's Ito. Kawahara. Van Vermeskirchen. Tough one to try and deliver from there, but he did make the ball into the penalty area. Ito. Aremovic. Van Vermeskirchen. And they flag up for offside against Tatsuya Ito. On a bit of afters as well. Our feelings are bound to be running high. It's a big game, a semi-final second leg, a chance to make it to the Japan National Stadium for the final on the 1st of November. Mitsumaru. Defeat in the first leg ended their 9-match unbeaten run, Kashiwa Reysol. Kawasaki Frontale embarking on their own unbeaten run now. They're 4 without defeat. That loss to FC Tokyo, though, their only loss in the last 11 in all competitions, so they've certainly been in good form. Cleared away by Tanabe. Van Vermeskirchen steps away from Diego. Ito. Now Diego. Well played by Koyamatsu. Playing in a much more central position today to what he was in the first leg. Nakagawa. Here's Diego. Sends the cross in there. Tanabe hooks it clear up towards Ito. Diego claiming there was a handball there. Not sure there was. Van Vermeerschkerken wins the throw off Nakagawa. Nakagawa just 23, his first season in the first team with Kashiwa Reysol. Out with Kojima. Now Inukai. That Kakata goal back, so crucial for Kashiwa Reysol there. Back to where they started the game now. Toshima playing it forward, cleared away by Sasaki. And towards Kakata. From first challenge. Koyamatsu helps it out. Bodies piling into the penalty area now, Kashiwa Reysol. Now Diego with the header in towards Nakagawa. And now the whistle has gone for offsides. Remember in the other semi-final, Sanfrecce Hiroshima were 2 goals up against Yokohama FC. The expectation was, even before the first leg, that Sanfrecce Hiroshima would be the opponents for whoever got through this one. Sanfrecce Hiroshima are in a similar position to Kashiwa Reysol in the league, although they are an extra couple of points adrift of Kashima Antlers. Mikhail Skibber's side seem to fall away every season, don't they, from a title challenge. Inukai. Here's Baba. Kawasaki Frontale get it away again. Mitsumaru. Kashiwa Reysol having the lion's share of possession, which is to be expected. The onus very much on them to get forward and score goals here. Kawasaki Frontale happy to take their chances when they arrive. Here's Diego. Hits through it and straight at Jung Seung-rong. That was a chance. Second side of goal that the Brazilian Diego has had in this first half. Jung Seung-rong equal to both of them. Good work by Koyamatsu. First effort with the right, second effort with the left foot from Diego. Showing his versatility not only in position but with his feet as well. Ito. Taking on Nakagawa. Mitsumaru across. Got himself into a tight corner here, Ito. And the throw goes to Kashiwa Reysol. Minutes left in the first half. Kashiwa Reysol 1, Kawasaki Frontale 1. The aggregate lead now 4-2 for Shigetoshi Hasabe's team. Such a fabulous start with a goal in just the 4th minute from Wakizuka. Kakata levelling though. Just 22 minutes later. On by Yamamoto. Here's Wakizuka. Ito. Yamamoto. Now Tanabe. Marcinho. Did well to pick up the ball from there. Van Vermeerschkerken. Ito. And that's a corner for Kawasaki Frontale. Her side still in a very strong position. Thing is as well with Kashiwa Reysol, for every goal they get back, you still fancy Kawasaki Frontale to score. They may be 7th in J1 this season, but they are the leading scorers in the Japanese top flight with 60 goals in 33 games this season. 8 goals more than the leaders, Kashima Antlers. 3 more than Kyoto Sanga in 2nd place, the next best. Yamamoto, Diego's header away. Here's Baba. Kawahara covering as he always is. Feeds it out to Yamamoto, who's ridden the first challenge and then is bundled over. Free kick for Kawasaki Frontale, and it's a good spell for the away side. What a clumsy defending from the centre forward Kakita. Ryosuke Kojima hasn't had a great deal to do since conceding the opening goal, but will have to be on his toes here. Yuki Yamamoto over the free kick for Kawasaki Frontale. Filip Aremovic forwards. Wakizaka just behind him. Clipped in by Yamamoto, and they get it away. Koizumi switches the play up neatly. Koizumi. Inukai. Now Koizumi. Koyamatsu. Inukai. Koizumi. Kawasaki Frontale with everybody back though between their penalty area and the ball. Here's Koizumi again. Mitsumaru forced backwards. Here's Inukai. Mitsumaru. Chance to deliver again. Kakita has made his run in the centre. It's tipped away by Jung. Kawasaki Frontale clear their lines up towards Erison. Beaten to it though by Inukai. It's not getting too much change out of Inukai at the moment in this first half, Erison. Koyamatsu did well. Here's Inukai. Sumaru to Nakagawa. Sumaru. Now Koizumi sends it across. And the header is wide in the end. But there was a deflection on that from Kakita's header. And Kashiwa Reysol have a corner. Quickly taken. Mitsumaru. Nakagawa. Here's Diego. Kawasaki Frontale being penned back here. Koyamatsu. Second goal for Kashiwa Reysol before half-time will be absolutely perfect for them. Whipped into the danger zone again. Yamamoto with the header away, and now Erison tries to relieve some of the pressure and does so by winning a throw. Four minutes to the break. Very desperate for his side to end the half with a second goal. He's right back in the balance then. Here's Erison. Tanabe. Yamamoto. Away from the chasing Koizumi. Tanabe hooks the cross in. And that's behind for a goal kick. Shuto Tanabe has got forward a bit more actually than Saivan Vermishkerken on this near side for Kawasaki Frontale. Here's Inukai. Baba. Neat build up again from Kashiwa Reysol. A touch off by Koyamatsu. They remain hopeful of their side turning this around. Here's Nakagawa. They're certainly dominating the ball now. Diego. In by Toshima. Now Baba. Nakagawa. Kashiwa Reysol continue to probe at the Kawasaki Frontale defence. Now they have a throw. Inukai. Kakita. Now Mitsumaru with space to deliver. And he does so. Removic with the initial header away though, to deny those in yellow who are queuing up behind him. Here's Erison. Well played by Erison. Terrific stuff, held the ball up brilliantly. And kept possession for Kawasaki Frontale, which is key at the moment. Van Vermishkerken almost running into trouble. Helped out by Sasaki, who clears it away. Problem here for Koyamatsu. Such a versatile player. Played left wing back in the first leg, more central attacking role. And he was caught there, you know, by Van Vermishkerken. Oh goodness me, that doesn't look good. The VAR didn't take a look at that actually. Studs right into the side of Koyamatsu's leg from the Kawasaki Frontale right back. Thankfully Koyamatsu is on his feet again and okay. 3 minutes to be added on at the end of this first half. Kashiwa Reysol 1, Kawasaki Frontale 1. Kawasaki Frontale 4-2 ahead on aggregate after winning the first leg 3-1. And I wonder if there is a conversation. Yeah, indeed, there was a VAR check, no red cards. Oh no, that is the decision they are checking, and I think Van Vermishkerken is going to be in trouble here. Kawasaki Frontale may be about to go down to 10. When you see the replay, it doesn't look good at all, the high foot on Tomoya Koyamatsu. I mean, there's no question, that's a potential leg breaker. I'll be amazed if Van Vermishkerken doesn't see red here. That is not a good challenge at all. He's going for the ball, there's no doubt, but he catches Koyamatsu. Thankfully he's okay, but that could easily have been a bad injury. I think he's made his decision here, and not sure this is going to be good news for Kawasaki Frontale and Cy van Vermeerschkerken. Oh, it's yellow. It's a yellow card. Goodness me. Well, that's a relief for Kawasaki Frontale and certainly for van Vermeerschkerken. I think when the referee went to his pocket, anyone who saw that was expecting a red card to come out. I think Ricardo Rodriguez certainly thought it was going to be a red. The Kashiwa Reysol coach. But it remains 11 aside. Just a yellow and a free kick. Originally 3 minutes added on, there will be more now because of that VAR check. Inukai. Up towards Erison. Inukai did well to make up for the mistake. Ito steps in. Here's Tanabe. Cuts in Tanabe, delivers the ball into Erison. And Nakagawa brings it away for Kashiwa Reysol. Koyamatsu. It's a good challenge by Tanabe, got back, but here's Kakita who picks up the loose ball. Nakagawa. Here's Diego, and he's off target again. Well, 3 of their big chances have fallen to the Brazilian. 2 saved by Jung Sung Rong, and that one, the worst of the bunch from the Brazilian, well off target. It's good build-up as well from Kashiwa Reysol. And Nakagawa with the presence of mind just to check back and roll it across. That's not a particularly good finish, to say the least. Here's Baba. Now Inukai. Shifted on by Nakagawa. Ito. Erison and Marcinho ahead of him. And that's well defended by Baba. Had to win that, otherwise Erison was potentially in and had Marcinho in support as well. Mitsumuru. Nakagawa, Diego, Mitsumuru continued his run forwards. Now Toshima gets the cross in, the header on has fallen for Nakagawa. And just couldn't keep the shot on target. But they are creating chances now, Kashiwa Reysol. The danger, as it always is with an advantage of any kind, or a 2-goal advantage in this case, is that Kawasaki Frontale get deeper and deeper and invite pressure onto themselves. Quite often doesn't end well when that happens. Feels comfortable, a 2-goal margin, but a goal back and it would all change. But they are 45 minutes away from a place in the YBC Levain Cup final. Kawasaki Frontale, who brought a 3-1 advantage from the first leg. Wakizaka made it 4-1 on aggregate after 4 minutes before Kakita pulled one back for Kashiwa Reysol. Half time, it is 1-1, but Kawasaki Frontale lead 4-2 on aggregate. Welcome back to the Sankyo Frontier Kashiwa Stadium, where it is 1-1 at half-time. Kawasaki Frontale leading 4-2 on aggregate, though, in this YBC Levain Cup semi-final second leg. And it looks as though it's going to be a triple change for Kashiwa Reysol. Yuki Kakata has been replaced, their goal scorer, by Mao Hoizuya. It's certainly one of the changes. So Ricardo Rodriguez going big with those changes. Sayababa has been replaced as well by Wataru Harada. Of course, has to go for it. 2 goals to force extra time. 3 goals needed for the win. And Tayo Koga has come on in place of Tomoya Inukai. So sweeping changes from Ricardo Rodriguez for this second half. It's weighing up getting through to the final, and bearing in mind they travel to Gamba Osaka on Saturday. Yokohama FC, Nagoya Grampus, Albirex Nagata and Machida Zelvia, their final league games. It's not too bad a run-in on paper for Kashiwa Reysol, so Ricardo Rodriguez certainly still has one eye on becoming J-League champions for what would only be the second time in the club's history, having won it in 2011. Third time they be Japanese champions. They were champions in the amateur era back in 1972, Kashiwa Reysol. And that's for another day. The next 45 minutes is about trying to overturn a 2-goal deficit and reaching the final of the YBC Levain Cup. Hoizuya, Koga and Harada all brought on to make a difference. Hoizuya has 7 goals in 31 appearances this season, only 11 starts though. Scored for Japan in June in a 6-0 win against Indonesia in World Cup qualifying. Hasn't scored in his last 4 appearances though, since a 1-1 draw at Cerezo Osaka. You could do a Hoizuya scoring tonight. Harrison clattered into. Still down, the Brazilian. Back on his feet again. That's good to see as well. Opposition player helping him just stretch his back out. Slightly winded as well by the looks of it. Harada with the ball in field to Nakagawa. Now Diego. There's a good delivery in, and it was half a chance. Removic's just doing enough. Diego surviving the half-time culling this time. Now that was a chance for Hoizuya, wasn't it? Removic just doing enough. What an impact that would have been from Mao Hoizuya. Throw for Kashiwa Reysol. Koizumi. Now Koga. Hozoya with the touch off, Wakizaka with the touch away, and here's Ito. It's Sumaru. Now Harada. Out to Yamanuchi. Yamanuchi again, Harada. Second half starting in much the same way that the first half finished, with Kashiwa Reysol having plenty of the ball and pushing Kawasaki Frontale back towards their own goal. Mitsumaru. Hozoya just wouldn't fall for him though, and Sasaki was able to clear the ball away for Kawasaki Frontale. By Koyamatsu, here's Koizumi. Nakagawa. Koizumi. Nakagawa. Little touch out again, fired across towards Hozoya by Mitsumaru. And Aremovic is being worked hard at the start of this second half in the Kawasaki Frontale defence. Home fans can feel that something is potentially building here. Koizumi. Nakagawa. Touch back by Diego. Toshima. Yamanuchi. And that's behind off Tanabe for a Kashiwa Reysol corner. Neat play. Marcinho loses out. Now Koizumi. On by Koyamatsu. Space here for Harada. And that's gone right the way through. There was a touch on that. It's a corner. Kawasaki Frontale get it away. Harada. Harada again into the penalty area. The little touch off towards Yamanuchi. Harada. Really good pressure now from Kashiwa Reysol. Koyamatsu. Gets it back again from Yamanuchi. They need to get out Kawasaki Frontale. Otherwise the concession of a second goal here is inevitable. Well played by Yamamoto. Initially, and then gives it away again. Here's Harada. Kawasaki Frontale penned back in here. Toshima. Now Harada. Nakagawa, clever little ball. Yamanuchi makes space. And in the end, it came off Hozoya. And that spell of pressure comes to an end for Kashiwa Reysol. Well, they really were turning the screw there, Kashiwa Reysol. Shigetoshi Hazabe will be aware of that. He needs to get his side further up the field. It's a long way to try and hang on in the way they were there, Kawasaki Frontale. Aremovic misses the header. Sasaki is there though. Header down by Erason. Mitsumaru. Toshima. Heavy touch from Nakagawa. Kawahara bringing it forward, but it's given away. Koga intercepts. Koyamatsu. Big challenge from Aremovic. Well, what has the referee given here? Not sure whether he's blown for the free kick or not, to be honest. Aremovic sliding in, let's see. Hosey is certainly onside. Yeah, it is a foul by Aremovic. I think the Kashiwa Reysol players were insisting that he was the last man. And that is what's being checked by the VAR. Now, they survived that in the first half, and Vermischkirchen in the end with a yellow card. But now another VAR check for a potential red card for Kawasaki Frontale, this time Filip Aremovic. Was Mao Hosea the last man, or was his touch taking him away from goal? And the referee going across to take a look. The thing is, was there a covering defender? That's the question. He's made his decision, Yoshiro Imamura. And again, it is a yellow card in hand. Oh no, it isn't, it's a red. It is a red for Aremovic. And now Kawasaki Frontale are down to 10. Well, Van Vermischkirchen was shown yellow when it could have potentially been red in the first half, but Filip Aremovic, who was shown a yellow card initially for this, is now shown a red. I just wondered whether the covering defender there, Sasaki, may have been enough to save him, because he could have potentially made a challenge on Hosea. But Kawasaki Frontale have a 2-goal advantage, but they have a player disadvantage now, with Filip Aremovic sent off. And now a rejig required by Shigetoshi Hazabe into his defence. Let's have a couple of options on the bench. It's whether he sacrifices a forward player. Over half an hour to go. They lead by 2. But we'll have to see out this final with 10, this semi-final with 10. Well, that is a sky, isn't it? What a beautiful view that is over the top of the stand here. Very open stadium, as you can see. And here comes the change. I think it's going to be a double change, actually. So Marcinho is being sacrificed for Kawasaki Frontale. Ryota Kamihashi is on. And Ito is coming off as well, so two attacking players changed. Kaito Shuchiya is his replacement. Well, it looks a case of what we have, we hold now. Two wingers replaced by two much more defensive-minded players. Kawasaki Frontale 4-2 up on aggregate, but now down to 10 men. Diego is over this, Koizumi as well. Jung Sung Ryong getting his wall organised. How telling will this moment be? If this free kick goes in, it could be very telling. It is Koizumi, and it's into the wall. Here's Harada. No way through there for Koyamatsu. Half-time changes have made a difference to Kashiwa Reysol. They are utterly dominant now. Of course, that will only increase now with the mindset change from Kawasaki Frontale, which has been forced upon them with the red card for Filipa Removic. Plenty of height on the jump in that defensive wall. Shuchiya, who had just come on, getting his head to it. It's a free kick for Kawasaki Frontale. They needed a bit of respite. Good work from Erison. He's been left now to pretty much plough the lone furrow up front for Kawasaki Frontale. Back on his feet again, but struggling a bit, Erison. So the second knock he's taken in this second half. Yuki Yamamoto then over the free kick for Kawasaki Frontale. Attacking their travelling supporters in this second half, but they won't expect to see too much of their side now that they are a player less. Koyamatsu primed and ready to spring on the counter should this free kick fall short from Yamamoto. It's a deep delivery. Header back across. Sasaki. Koyamatsu with the initial challenge. Erison hits it. Comes back to the Brazilian again, who defends the ball well. Still got players forward here. Yamamoto hooks it back into the danger zone, but Koga clears it away. Koyamatsu. And again, here's Diego. Away from Van Vermeerschkerken. Koyamatsu to Nakagawa. Here's Koga. Now Harada. If they can get a goal in the next 10 minutes or so, you would fear for Kawasaki Frontale. Of course, if it does go into extra time, they would be playing with 10 for an even longer period. Koyamatsu. Plus losing Aremovic, a new arrival, but one of their best defenders. Cross into the box. Headed away by Kamihashi. Now Erison. Charging forward, foot in though by Koga. Came on and immediately took over the captain's armband, Koga. Well, they need all their support now. Looking in control at 4-1 up on aggregate with that early goal. Cancelled out though by Kakita before the half-hour mark. And now it's just a question of can the 10 men hold on with a 2-goal advantage. Nakagawa. It's a Kawasaki Frontale throw. He's become even more central now to this. Erison for Kawasaki Frontale. He's the lone attacker, really. Has support from Wakizaka, and that's about it. Here is Wakizaka. Kamihashi with the ball across. And that was given away by Kamihashi. Harada. Brave move to change 2 of the back 3 for the second half from Ricardo Rodriguez, but it certainly helped. Harada has got forward to good effect from the right side of the back 3. Shuchia. Erison again, the only option forward really is Sasaki. Diego is about to make way. Hayato Nakama coming on to replace him. Fourth change for Kashiwa Reysol. Experience being brought on, the 33-year-old Hayato Nakama, who arrived from Kashima Antlers in December. Here's Koga. Here's Harada. Now Yamanuchi. Harada again. Shifted on by Toshima. Mitsumaru. Header away by Kawahara for Kawasaki Frontale. It's going to be all hands to the pumps scenario here for Kawasaki Frontale. Here's Koizumi. And Kawahara has stayed down after that challenge. Such a key man for Kawasaki Frontale in that holding role alongside Yuki Yamamoto. Kawahara, an exceptional work rate. Up towards Reysol. Harada clears it away. That's well covered by Sasaki. Yamamoto. You never know, even down to 10, there could be a bit of joy for Reysol if this continues at 1-1. Kashiwa Reysol get more and more desperate, take more and more chances. Mitsumaru. Not panicking yet though, 20 minutes, plus a large chunk of stoppage time no doubt. Koga, out to Yamanuchi. Yamanuchi did well to get his foot to that and get the cross in. Well, Kawahara battling away with Hosoya. Here's Reysol. Well played by Reysol. Wanted the free kick, nothing doing though. Here's Koizumi. Harada. Yamanuchi. Nakagawa slides it through. It was a clever ball by Nakagawa. Yamanuchi waiting to shoot. Still it's not away. And again, Kawasaki Frontale getting bodies in the way. Here's Nakagawa again, who had that final shot. Nakagawa. Kawasaki Frontale need an out ball again. As the pressure builds once more from Kashiwa Reysol. Harada. Now Koga. Nakagawa again. Slides it through, big chance. And it's well saved by Young. Still the ball's not away. And Mao Hosoya denied. Here's Koga. Reysol getting back to him though. I think the free kick's been given against the Brazilian. What a chance for Mao Hosoya. Lovely ball from Nakagawa. A double save from Young Sung-ryong. Stretching that leg out and denying Hosoya. Has had two sights of the Kawasaki Frontale goal since coming on. Just wonder if there should have been a foul in there on Young Sung-ryong after he made the second save with his chest. Seemed to be buffeted over from behind. Nothing given though. Another free kick for Kashiwa Reysol. Koizumi over it. Whips it in, hangs it up to the back post. Nakagawa heads it back across. And a corner for Kashiwa Reysol. Given their problems defensively this season, Kawasaki Frontale not a side you'd back to hold an advantage, and they're in trouble again here, and it's 2-1. Hayato Nakama pulls Kashiwa Reysol within one goal of forcing extra time. The pressure has been growing and growing. And it's Kashiwa Reysol 2, Kawasaki Frontale 1. And the aggregate lead, which stood at 4-1 4 minutes into the first half, is now 4-3. Good finish from Nakama. The angle was tight, but he found a way through. His third League Cup goal this season. And his fourth the campaign in all competitions. And there's still plenty of time for Kashiwa Reysol to get themselves level and maybe even find a winner without the need of extra time. Well, the Kashiwa Reysol supporters have found their voices now. Double change for Kawasaki Frontale. Reysol is off. Lazar Romanic was thrown into the action. The Serbian striker. And Yamamoto has been replaced by Kento Tachibanada. It's always likely to be a big moment, the red card for Filip Iremovic. He'll be delighted with his half-time changes, Ricardo Rodriguez. And his side right back in the tie now with 15 minutes plus stoppages to go. And Vermishkerken. Well, to keep it in play. Kawasaki Frontale offering nothing now in the attacking sense. Got to try and get up the field and relieve some of this pressure. They're not doing themselves any favours at all. Koizumi, the side of course much more adept at attacking than they are defending. Harada. Just as I was saying, you wouldn't back them to hold on. Nakama scores. Yamanuchi fires it across. And that's a foul by Romanic. And a yellow card almost immediately for the Serbian. Forward again here, Kashiwa Reysol, and it's in! Malhoisia, 3-1, and we are level on aggregate. And the substitute, having missed a couple of chances after coming off the bench, this time makes no mistake. And 2 goals in the space of 4 minutes has made it Kashiwa Reysol 3, Kawasaki Frontale 1, and it is 4-4 on aggregate. Kashiwa Reysol have pulled around a 3-goal deficit. 2 substitutes combining. Hayato Nakama, who'd just scored, now turns creator. And Malhoisia levels the cup tie. And there is still plenty of time for Ricardo Rodriguez's side to go on and win this and negate the need for extra time, which he certainly doesn't want, bearing in mind the games they've got coming up in the title run-in. Travel to Gamba Osaka next weekend. Can they turn it completely around? Harada. First time now in this tie, you'd say they're big favourites. Trying to pick their way through the Kawasaki Frontale defence again. And once more, those defensive frailties have come back to haunt Shigetoshi Hasabe's side. And now they have to find a way of getting forward. Wakizaka. We never really backed them to hold on, especially with 10 men. And get anywhere near holding out, did they? There's still 12 minutes to go. And it is 4-4 in aggregate. Harada. And the flag up for offside. the turning point wasn't only the red card of Filip Aremovic. Ricardo Rodriguez was brave with his half-time changes. Koga, Harada, Hosea, all brought in. All have made a difference. Two of them defensively. Nakama, the other change as well. Scored their second goal, created the third for Hosea, who scored it. Good management from Ricardo Rodriguez. Toji Hazabe having to do what he had to do after Aremovic's red card. Doing their bit to support their team, the Frontale supporters, but worried, glum faces now in the light blue behind that goal. Even if they were to cling on for extra time, they've got another half an hour with a player less. Yamanuchi. Harada. Have to carry on doing what they've been doing, Kashiwa Reysol. Nakagawa. On by Mitsumaru. Cross into the centre is headed away. Harada. Banada heads it on towards Romanic. It's a yellow card for the foul on Romanic. Nowhere near it. Nakagawa. First Kashiwa Reysol player to go into the book. Quite often you see it when a team pulls back a deficit, as Kashiwa Reysol have done here. They lose that momentum, just check themselves a bit, having gotten level. Kashiwa Reysol need to avoid that, really, because Kawasaki Frontale are well and truly on the rack here. Yamanuchi. Can they find the winning goal inside the 90 minutes? Mitsumaru. Now Nakagawa. Mitsumaru. Nakagawa. Harada. Harada again. Stands the ball up. Toyamatsu with the touchback. Nakagawa makes the opening. It's blocked away. Danger far from over, though. Everybody encamped in that Kawasaki Frontale penalty area. Here's Harada. And that's off target. Well, the winners of this know they'll be facing Sanfrecce Hiroshima in the final. Their second leg kicking off earlier against Yokohama FC. One last change to make for Kawasaki Frontale. It's the veteran Akihiro Einaga who is coming on to replace Tanabe. Fabulous player, Akihiro Einaga. Kawasaki Frontale since 2017 now. He's been part of all the glory the club's had. 273 top flight appearances for them. It's his first appearance this season in the League Cup, having made 63 previously in his career. It's to be used sparingly now at 39 years of age. Harada. Nakagawa. Fell into the penalty area again. Cut out though by Sasaki. Drives forwards. Romanic in support. He's going for goal there, Sasaki. Would have been a spectacular one, having picked the ball up in his own penalty area. Well, they drew 4-4 a couple of weeks ago in J1. It is now 4-4 again, but on aggregate this time. Kawasaki Frontale bringing a 3-1 lead from the first leg, and then taking the lead, which at the time, even though it was early on, left Kashiwa Reysol with an awful lot to do, but they've done it. It's 4-4. But the cup tie still needs winning. Yamanuchi across. Felt kindly for Nakama. Nakagawa. Sumaru with the touchback. Nakagawa again. Harada. Yamanuchi sends the cross in. Kawasaki Frontale get it away. Harada. Koizumi. What's a clever little ball inside by Koizumi. Clever play by Nakama. Looked as though he was going to get the shot away, but just slipped at an inopportune moment. Nakagawa. Good ball by Nakagawa, and then the shot straight into the hands of Jung by Koyamatsu. Romanic. Did well to win the free kick. Could there yet be a twist in the tail from Kawasaki Frontale? His remit will be come on and do what Erison was doing. Carry the fight almost single-handedly when you get the ball, take it up the field, relieve the pressure. Try, if possible, to snatch something. Tough day for Shigetoshi Hazabe. His side were well and truly in the driving seat. But now heading for an extra half an hour. Kizaka, the captain, is over this. Kashiwa Reysol get it away. Barely anything to do defensively second half, especially since the Aremovic sending off. Ainaga. Tashibanada's header. Ainaga heads it on. Kashiwa Reysol making a bit of a meal of getting this away. Now Kojima has it and bowls it out. Mitsumaru. Now Nakagawa. On to Koga. Can they find this fourth goal to wrap up their place in the League Cup final? For the first time in 5 years. Koga, Nakagawa, Toshima, Yamanuchi has Harada in support. Yamanuchi. 4 to aim for in the penalty area. Again, struggling to clear their lines. Kashiwa Reysol winning all the second ball and winning it back when they lose it. Here's Harada with space to deliver. Checks back instead. Nakama. What a part he's played. A goal and an assist since coming on. Toyamatsu. Nakama. That's a corner. As we head into the last minute of the regulation 90. Toyamatsu. Deep delivery again, almost too deep, and Onaga clears it away. They may well need the extra half an hour, but they've certainly taken this 4 minutes into the game when they fell 4-1 down on aggregate. $11 minutes to be added on. We thought there'd be a significant amount, a couple of VAR checks. Now it's back with the Kashiwa Reysol goalkeeper. Here's Harada. No foul. It's been quite a comeback from Kashiwa Reysol. 4-1 down on aggregate to 4-4. But the sending off of Filip Aremovic really didn't help matters. Can they find the winner though before extra time? Here's Nakagawa. Space here now for Mitsumaru. Now Nakagawa. Sends it into the penalty area again, and it's in! Kashiwa Reysol have their 4th goal. And it's Mai Hozier again, and look at the reaction from the bench. An astonishing second half from Kashiwa Reysol. 3 goals. All from substitutes, 2 from Mai Hozier. And from 4-1 down on aggregate, they now lead 5-4 on aggregate. Well, they've looked like a rudderless ship in the second half, Kawasaki Frontale, particularly since the sending off. It's terrific centre-forward play. Mai Hozier turning away from Sasaki, and as he's slipping over, fires the shot below Jung Sung Rong and into the net. It's a good finish. It's a clinical finish. 4-1 they lead in this second leg. 5-4 on aggregate. And now there is a VAR check for a potential offside. Well, all those celebrations, all that drama, and it may not count. It's so tight. Sasaki is right at his back. Well, there's already 11 minutes being added on. There's going to be even more now. The VAR checks have gone one way and then the other for Kawasaki Frontale. This could be the biggest of all if this is ruled out. Well, Sasaki and Hozier are right next to each other. I wondered if there was a pull on the shirt that maybe they were checking, but it's the offside that is being checked now by the VAR. So maybe it's not over yet for Shigetoshi Hazabe's side. Doesn't look offside, does it? It's just his arm that's behind Sasaki. I'd be amazed if that's given offside. And so it does count. It is 4-1. Two goals from Mayo Hosea since coming on. And now Kawasaki Frontale have to throw everything forward in the, well, more than 7 minutes that remain because of that VAR check as well. They look shell-shocked, the Kawasaki Frontale supporters. 1-0 up after 4 minutes. A 4-1 aggregate lead. And now they trail 5-4. Kamihashi. It's going to be Kashiwa Reysol's first win in 18 games against Kawasaki Frontale. And they had to do it by at least 2 just to force extra time. And as it stands, they're winning by 3. Wakizaka. Well, football never ceases to amaze you, does it? What a terrific semi-final it's been, over the piece, over the 2 legs. But in terms of claiming silverware in Shigetoshi Hasabe's first season, those dreams look over. Unless the 10 men can grab themselves an equalizer in the still rather sizable chunk of stoppage time that remains. Harada. On by Koga. Here's Toshima. And it's going to be a throw for Kashiwa Reysol. Still potential for a double of kind for Kashiwa Reysol. 5 points to make up with 5 games to go in the league campaign. Kashima Antlers certainly the favourites to see that out, but given where they were last season, 1 place above the relegation zone, Ricardo Rodriguez has done a magnificent job. And he's shown his coaching qualities with his substitutions in this second half. Nakama and Hosea scoring 3 between them. Nakama an assist as well. Sending off though Filip Aremovic for that professional foul. And certainly the turning point in the game. Nakagama. Mitsumaru. Now Koga. There's Koga again. They can't get the ball, Kawasaki Frontale. They were being penned back even before the Aremovic sending off, but losing their centre-back while trying to defend a 2-goal advantage really didn't help them at all. Especially given how porous they can be defensively at times, and ultimately it's cost them in this competition. Nakagawa. Mitsumaru. Knocked on again by Yamanuchi. Nakagawa. by Koizumi. Just keeping the ball now. And Kawasaki Frontale can't get close to it. Terrific second half performance, tempered of course by the sending off, but there's nobody that can deny that Kashiwa Reysol deserved this, just for their attitude, the way they set about things in the second half. The triple half-time change that made such a difference from Ricardo Rodriguez. Seemed a gamble taking off Kakita and replacing him with Hosoya. Kakita, especially having scored in the first half, the goal that gave them a foothold in the game. But what a job Hosoya has done after missing a couple of early chances. Has found the net twice with the equalizer and now potentially the winner. Koga. Here's Harada. Good ball in behind. Hosoya. I think he was just trying to play that into the path of Jose Yamanuchi. Nakagawa. Koizumi. Yamanuchi. That was a tight angle. Fires it straight into the supporters. Naga was brought on to add a bit of experience to Kawasaki Frontale in the dying embers of the game, but it was always going to be difficult for him to make any significant difference. It's a bad one for Shigetoshi Hazabe. A header on. Tashi Banada chasing back, he's lost it though to Hosoya. Can he complete the hat-trick? Well, he can't the first time, and he can't the second time either. No, that was a poor finish. Great chance to complete the hat-trick and put the result beyond all doubt. We've had the 11 minutes to be added on. And we're going to go to about 105, I'd have thought, with the VAR check as well during that 11 minutes. They just have to pile everybody forward now, Kawasaki Frontale. Wakizaka. Tashi Banada. Is it into the box? Kashiwa Reysol half get it away. Kagawa sees it out, it's a throw for Kawasaki Frontale. It's a painful one for those supporters. They've arrived full of confidence with a 3-1 lead, especially after the early goal increased the deficit. Anywhere will do. Nakama slams it forwards. Not the best piece of control from Young. Hits it long. Harada with the header away. Forward by Wakizaka. It was a long time ago now that Wakizaka put Kawasaki Frontale in front. Flips it into the box. Let's not forget, if they were to snatch a goal here, then we'd be heading for extra time again. All is not lost just yet for Kawasaki Frontale. We move into the 104th minute of this game. And that is it. November the 1st at the Japan National Stadium in Tokyo. We'll see Kashiwa Reysol face Sanfrecce Hiroshima in the YBC Levain Cup final. An astonishing second half from Kashiwa Reysol, which sees them beat Kawasaki Frontale for the first time in 18 games. And talk about picking their moment. Wakizaka had Frontale 1 up on the night, 4-1 up on aggregate. but goals from Kakita, Nakama, and then a double from the substitute Hozoya after Aremovic was sent off has seen Kashiwa Reysol win this astonishingly by 4 goals to 1 and by 5 goals to 4 on aggregate. This is a tough loss to take for Kawasaki Frontale, but the YBC Levain Cup final will be Kashiwa Reysol against Sanfrecce Hiroshima. It's finished on aggregate, Kashiwa Reysol 5, Kawasaki Frontale 4.
劇的な勝利、そして決勝進出の立役者、柏レイソルストライカーの細山選手です。ナイスゴールでした。
ありがとうございます。
途中出場から大きな2ゴール、まずはクロスからの押し込みがありました。あのゴール振り返っていただけますか。
うまくディフェンスラインと駆け引きでしたので、うまく前に入って、当てれたかなと思います。
そして決勝へつなげた倒れ込みながらのゴール、気持ちがこもっていたと思いますが、このゴールはいかがでしたか。
うまく自分の足元に置けたので、あとは振り抜くだけでした。
日立大に多くのサポーターが詰めかけました。そして声援を送り続けました。ホームでのサポーターの後押しというのはどのように感じていましたか。
これがないと、決勝に行けないと思ってましたし、これがあって、決勝に行けたのでよかったです。
これで柏にとっては5年ぶりのファイナル進出です。そして2013年以来のルヴァンタイトルに向けて決勝への意気込みを最後にお願いします。
自分自身タイトルも取ってないので、しっかり今年は取りたいなと思います。
期待しています。今日のヒーロー細山選手でした。ありがとうございました。 2戦合計5対4、見事ホームで逆転の決勝進出を決めましたリカルド・ロドリゲス監督です。おめでとうございます。
ありがとう。
試合が終わって選手とサポーターと喜びを分かち合いましたが、今の気持ちいかがですか？
Bueno, al final eres entrenador por este tipo de noches. Me alegra mucho haber podido ayudar a ganar el partido. Los jugadores estuvieron sensacional. Sabíamos que era un partido que teníamos que trabajar mucho, que podía pasar lo que pasó, que podíamos encajar un gol y teníamos que seguir. Y luego, pues esta afición también me alegro mucho de que hayan vivido una noche histórica otra vez aquí en Reysol y ahora pues nos queda un paso y vamos a hacer todo lo posible por ganar este título.
このような人々の記憶に残る、そして誰もが決して忘れることがないであろう、このような試合をするために、私は監督業をやっています。そういう意味でも今日の素晴らしい逆転勝利というのはこのクラブの歴史に残ると思いますし、多くの方々の記憶に残ると思います。最初失点をして試合が始まってしまいました。あのような難しい展開になることも十分予想していましたけれども、その際に選手たち、そして全員が決して諦めることなくプレーし続ける、そして逆転勝利ができるということを信用し続けたことによって今日歴史に残る偉大な逆転勝利を成し遂げることができたと思います。サポーターの皆さんの後押しもあって、そして皆さんの記憶に残るような試合が勝利ができたことをとても嬉しく思っています。
交代選手も含めて躍動しました細谷選手の2ゴール、そして今日はトータル4ゴールというところでしたけれども、あのゴールはどのように振り返られますか？
Goles de Mao y que los suplentes también se han destacado todos en campo, y cómo valoras a estos 4 goles.
Sí, obviamente era un trabajo colectivo. El primer tiempo, pues bueno, ese gol primero nos ayudó, luego entró muy bien Hayato, entró muy bien Mao al partido y la verdad que fenomenal. Resolvieron la situación que ellos nos pusieron ahí con 5 centrales atrás, pero lo hicieron fenomenal.
すべてのゴールがチームのコレクティブなプレーによって生まれた素晴らしいゴールだったと思います。前半のうちに1点取ることができたことはとても重要でしたし、そして後半途中投入した隼人、そして真央がチームにゴールとともに貢献できたところ素晴らしかったと思います。相手が途中から5バックに変えてきました。そのような守備を固めてきた相手に対してもしっかりとゴール取れたことをとても評価しています。
次はいよいよ国立ファイナルの舞台です。相手は広島です。タイトル獲得に向けて意気込みをお願いします。
Ahora queda la final en Estadio Olímpico contra Hiroshima. ¿Qué esperas de esta final?
Bueno, obviamente pues ganarla. Trabajaremos el partido al máximo, sabemos que es un buen rival, lo tuvimos aquí hace pocas fechas y haremos todo lo posible para dar este título a la afición de Reysol y a los jugadores.
偉大なスタジアムで、そして偉大な対戦相手に決勝をしっかりと勝ってタイトルを取りたいと思います。もちろん難しい試合になると思います。広島さんとはまだ対戦したばかりです。そのようどのようなチームかはしっかり理解しています。そして難しい試合になるかもしれませんけれども、なると思いますけれども、決勝勝利を目指して、そして優勝を目指して頑張りたいと思います。
ありがとうございました。